Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the Profit Madness channel. My name is Alex, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market as a whole. I'm going to tell you what I personally see coming forward. And before I start, guys, make sure to leave a like, comment down below your thoughts, and subscribe for more content like this. Without further ado, guys, let's get straight into our charts. So last week, I told you that in my opinion, the short-term top was likely in. As you can see from the title of this video, you can also make sure to watch it if you want to see more confirmation about that. But I basically was calling the top exactly as it happened, for now at least. I also shared this trade on Involio, which you guys can also see the PNL of, which by the way was actually higher, to be completely honest. This was when I've taken the first take profit on this. Now I've chose to close this trade not for invalidation or anything, but simply because I was anticipating this trade to end up taking way more time than I've honestly liked. Some of you guys are still keeping this trade, and you can, because at the end of the day we have taken the first take profit and we have moved the stop loss to break even, as I've shared publicly on Involio. So if you are willing to do that, that's completely up to you, but it's not my style. I do share trades that sometimes they're not my style, but I know that they're likely going to hit. This is one of them. Okay, I'm more of short-term type of trader. But regardless of all of that, let's start with the total one, because like I was anticipating, and like I said in the previous video last week, I mentioned this, what I'm about to cover, because even though I said the short-term top is likely in, one thing important that I did mention, again, go and watch the previous video if you don't believe me. I said that we are in a bearish trailing channel, which if you guys are not familiar with this idea of a trailing channel, it's something that I believe I came up with myself, but it's basically when you get two trend lines that are approaching pretty much the same exact region, or they are highlighted in a specific area, which for example, one of them will have to be this one that I've highlighted in red. And what I believe to be an actual breakout above such levels, right, is something pretty much like this, where we actually climb significantly out of the trendline channel. We then get a retest of this overall area, and then we get the push to the upside as a continuation confirmation. So realistically speaking, for me to actually validate the move, I am not able, right, and this is because I'm operating with confirmation by my side. I'm not able to validate the move until I see this part over here of the move. Okay, so for me, we are still in dangerous territory where, like I said in the previous video, sorry for repeating myself so much, it doesn't matter how we go. We could even go up in this manner where you could say, well, we're moving up, yes, but you haven't seen a significant breakout that actually validates this move, because what could potentially happen then is that we hit a significant level of resistance, and we actually have a few of them on the total one chart. It's not just this chart over here. I will show you guys multiple other charts that are pointing to the same exact thing. You may find yourself in an area of significant resistance that will cause the price to crash a lot faster than you may anticipate that to happen. Okay, so how do you get rid of that possibility? Simple. You want to see a significant push to the upside away from this area, retest, continuation higher. Until that happens, it doesn't matter for me if we move to the upside like this. It doesn't matter if we keep on consolidating, right? What I will still be favoring is more downside, because you're operating in an area of very, very, well, with a lot of uncertainty, to say the least. Okay, so for me, we are still in that predicament. I think that there is a lot of things that could potentially happen from this area, and one of them is potentially that's in that correction that should be happening at some point. Again, I'm not bullish or bearish at this moment. I'm waiting for the market to show its end, okay? And that's the way they should be approaching trading, and the way they should be approaching investing overall, okay? Unless you're trading with higher time frames. But overall, guys, this is what I'm expecting. I'm in a situation where I think that the most logical thing to do, based on this chart alone at least, is to be patient and let the market show its end, okay? We're gonna keep on monitoring this. On the total 2, we are seeing a breakout. nice away from my area. I was initially expecting to see resistance from this level over here as projected. Overall, we are moving up, but at the same time, not much has changed. Let me tell you why. It's for two particular reasons. Yes, we are above this level that initially was expecting to see resistance, but you have not confirmed it as a support. So what I should be wanting to see at this moment is this: if we are going to continue higher, retest of this level, continuation higher if it maintains, because otherwise it opens up the door for this to be a bull trap where you are then expecting to see something like this taking place, a significant correction, this level met as a resistance, and then a continuation lower. So you are required to operate with confirmation on your side. If you are taking trades, be mindful, because I'm not saying that you're not supposed to do so, but you should be mitigating this risk in the best way that you can, okay? And that is up to you, for you to decide how you want to do that. And the second hurdle that I'm seeing over here is from the previous highs, right? This all-time high year, this high that we have done in this cycle, this has created a trend line. And this trend line over here is missing the third touch. If you guys are familiar with the third touch of trend lines or the EMAs, they're likely going to create a reversal to the previous direction. So even though, right, this does propose a little bit more upside by the looks of it, as we hit this trend line here for the third time, it's very, very likely that, in my opinion, we should be seeing a push to the upside followed by a correction back down. And I apologize for my screen flickering. It's going crazy. But anyway, this could create this sort of a situation where, yes, we move up, but it's a short-lived move where people will be chanting all season more than what they are doing right now. But all it does is actually prepare us for more downside. So be extremely careful of this. Is a good area, in my opinion, to start to de-risk your position. I've already started doing so myself. If we do go higher, I'm not underexposed. I'm correctly exposed, because I will keep on taking out profits as we keep on going higher, and I will always be in a position to profit more if the market were to go higher. I'm in a position where profit managers can pretty much say, if I'm wrong, it pays me, okay? And that is the best position where you can possibly find yourself, because if we do see the market going higher, we'll be making more money. If it goes lower, I have a strong cash position, which will only get stronger as the market moves up, because I will be taking profits. And if we end up going lower, that capital will be used at critical levels of support to accumulate as much as possible in preparation of a lot higher to come. Because overall, I am bullish. I'm not necessarily bullish in the way that most people will be expecting me to be, and that's simply how I play this cycle, and it has paid me very, very nicely when it comes to altcoins. Okay, so at this moment, be careful of this area over here. Total 3, it has found a very critical area, in my opinion. It does propose a little bit more upside, but you can see that we will be approaching this trendline channel, which is bearish, that we haven't touched since the end of May. And if we want to be precise, the 29th of May. So be mindful about that, because you have touched this trend line over here for the third time. You are breaking above it, but as you're doing that, you have a lot of resistance right ahead of you. Okay, so be careful, because I do believe that the market is very close to a potential top. How do you invalidate this theory? Very, very simple. What you need to see: breakout that is significant, correction to the downside, push to the upside. Okay, that's the only way for me to turn significantly bullish. If that doesn't happen, I'm sorry, I have to look at the downside, and that's how you play the game. Others chart, it has met resistance. It can go higher, okay, but it's still meeting a lot of resistance. This level over here was initially a weaker resistance than I was expecting, but it's still resistance nonetheless. Have you flipped this level as a support? No, you haven't, okay? So, and what has changed is pretty much that we have gone a little bit higher. Not much has changed. How do you invalidate my theory? Guys, if you don't know by now, what I want you to see is levels flipped as a support. Simple as. You want to see a continuation? This is a requirement. This is the ABC of trading, right? If you create moves of this nature where it just keeps on going one direction, and you believe that it's the way that it should be, where you just look to the upside, it means that you have not learned anything from what this cycle has showed you before to be possible. I mean, look at every single other time, right? I will show you the guys from here, where we have seen a significant push to the upside, right? Without proper structure taking place, we have pretty much retraced every single bit of this move. You could say, well, that is how parabolic moves tend to happen, Alex. Correct. You're still trading below these levels. If you were to trade significantly higher, you already know where to look in that situation. Like I said, I have positions to mitigate the risk of the market going higher, okay? And I will still be making more money at the end of the day. So, again, position yourself to win regardless of the market direction. That is the best way to deal with this situation. And like I said previously with Bitcoin, at this moment, what I stated for the total one chart is also valid for the Bitcoin chart. Honestly, you're in an area where you need to see this happening if you're going to see more upside in a secure way. It doesn't matter if we keep on doing this. It doesn't matter if we move up like this. Just understand that this trendline channel goes higher and higher as time progresses. It's actually higher than what I'm showing here, because this trendline here, I stopped it at this level, but technically speaking, this trendline should be going higher. So just like this projection is pointing out to, we could even go up in this manner, hit it at a later date, and then have a significant reversal back down. So it's a moment to be extremely careful. The only way for me to change this bias is if I see this. Simple as, okay? But at this moment, I'm favoring a correction, at least 112 in my personal opinion, or 115 at the very, very least. From there onwards, if it wants to go higher, at the end of the day, I'm not in this position. Even if I were, I have already taken the first profit, and the stop is a break even, so I end up winning regardless, right? So if you're in such a position, that's how I will handle it. No financial advice, it's up to you. Bitcoin dominance. So I've actually shared this with you guys as well. I showed you guys two possibilities where from this levels over here, I was expecting to see a breakdown. Go and watch the previous videos, guys, if you haven't already. And if you guys want to know the best altcoins to buy and the coins that I'm buying, there is a link down below. Join the VIP if you haven't already. There's a lot that you can get out of this subscription. Not only do you get access to my portfolio, my limit buy, my trades and all of that, but you also get access to exclusive live streams, our chats and whatnot. You get to see my portfolio, the percentages, how you can replicate the same strategy and whatnot. I teach you guys a lot of stuff in here, and you get a lot more content than what I'm willing to share on YouTube. So guys, if you want to support us and you want to make sure that you make as much money as possible out of this cycle, guys, link down below, you will find access to the VIP. But going back to the Bitcoin dominance chart, so I stated that this was the more likely scenario, but I was also open for a correction back down. So this move to the downside has pretty much been anticipated by me, and there's videos to prove it, which is nice to have. But at the same time, I believe that what I just said to premium is I believe that the altcoins have actually gave more to the upside while we were over here. I think that a lot of altcoins are simply hitting resistance, holding, and then let some other altcoin to move up towards their resistance and pretty much get every altcoin in a position to find resistance. Because if the market is to drop, like I'm anticipating Bitcoin to do at some point, right, I think that these altcoins are merely catching up before a significant correction that most people will not be expecting. How could we validate something like that? I think that rate cuts will be one. You guys have been trained to believe that rate cuts are bullish. In my opinion, rate cuts, well, it's not just my opinion. Go and study history and what has happened every single other time that rate cuts were cut as markets were at all-time highs. Such a pivot basically shows that there is something that has broken the economy. People, if they were to hear the rate cuts being cut and the market probably pumping as that news happens, what is actually happening is smart money offloading their bags for retail that has a reason now to believe that the market is going to go much higher. They will get validated on that reason because the market will then actually pump. But what is happening is that smart money is offloading what retail is buying, okay? And rate cuts, in my opinion, will actually be, in my opinion, the catalyst for a lot more downside, because yes, it is bullish perhaps in the longer term, but not right away as most people would be expecting it, because we are already at all-time highs. I really feel like such a cut of this nature. And first and foremost, in order for quantitative easing to be effective in the first place, we have to see rate cuts being around 0 to even 1, in my opinion. From there, we can actually start to think about quantitative easing. I think that that is also the best way to get a lot of people out of altcoins before an alt season. I think that that's how you get into risk on. If we were to see a significant reset in the market, retail giving up on that idea, because if we see that sharp correction that I'm expecting, I think that Bitcoin will see significantly correct. Most importantly, the altcoins will significantly correct, and people will start to believe that we are in a bear market and that bear markets will take a few years to recover, where in reality, I'm expecting to see maybe a few months of more accumulation and downside before a lot more upside next year. Worst case scenario. If we do see a flash correction to the downside as soon as possible, when I say as soon as possible, it has to happen like by the end of the month or maybe August, maybe even September. But if we see a flash crash correction, then yes, I could potentially start to believe that we will see the alt season this year, but it's not a given at this moment in time, okay? So be flexible. I'm just telling you what I personally believe that is going to happen. Ethereum currently moving up, but it's in a bearish trendline channel, okay, as you guys can see over here. So be mindful about that, because this is not a confirmation of more upside. This is what I need to see to believe that more upside is coming for Ethereum. Finally, guys, total 3 minus Solana, BNB, XRP, USDT, USDC. I really need to find a name for this chart over here to make this shorter. But anyway, guys, this is moving up, and it's part of my initial projection for this. If you guys want to know more about this chart, I basically decipher this chart in front of you. It's 53 minutes of educational content where I basically go through how I do TA and explain how I came up with this chart and these levels. It's basically in front of you guys. You need to watch this video if you really want to take your education to the next level. But my base case hypothesis was that, and it's highlighted in red just to make sure that it stands out, that we were going to see a move to the upside with the altcoins, which we are doing right now. And as we approach these areas over here that I've highlighted in gray, this is where the top will be coming, which will be in line with the expectation of seeing not new highs on most coins. Of course, some altcoins will be trading above their Q4 2024 highs, okay? But we may not say that for certain for every single other coin. And from there onwards, what will happen is a complete reset back to the downside in preparation of the next cycle. Well, the next phase of the cycle taking place somewhere around mid 2026, in my opinion. It gives enough time for the market to reset, enough time to make people believe that alt season is not coming, and enough time to make people believe that we are in a bear market where altcoins will go to zero. Okay, so I have a lot higher targets to the upside. I think that altcoins will go extremely well in a risk-on scenario where perhaps we have reset the interest rates back down to zero. We get into quantitative easing. They will print a lot more money, and that's how you get super freaking rich. But guys, this is all I have. Again, if you want to find more information how to take advantage properly of what is coming next, right? And I've been calling for this move publicly to the upside pretty much in the video, right? Because if you go and watch this video, you will find out where we were trading, and we were trading at way different levels of where we are right now, and I was already calling for more upside, right? If you guys want to take advantage of the rest of the cycle, you want to know how to monetize it as much as possible, this is the place to be. The VIP by Profit Man. There is a link down below where you can do that. And besides that, guys, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more content like this. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace out.